The tree of liberty has been thirsty for too long. I am the spark, the powder, the match, the shot that rang, the line in the patch. I am the night they tossed the tea, the oath they swore to die free. You can chain my hands, you can break my bones, but you'll never own my soul. I am the fire in the midnight sky, the reason tyrants die. I am 1776, lightning, thunder, iron, and grit. Every musket, every fist. I am 1776. Oh, 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 oh. I am 1776. I am the flag they tried to burn, the shot that made the empire turn. I am the rebel, the Minuteman, the ink that wrote we can. We hold these truths, hear my boots on the cobblestone, hear my war cry, shake the throne, hear my drum, you know it's near, your reign of fear ends here. I am 1776, lightning, thunder, iron, and grit, every musket, every fist. I am 1776. Oh, oh, I am 1776.
Hello, it's Wormhole Wednesday. And there's the word. So I'm gonna say something.
Everybody, what happened?
Say something real quick. Anybody that's living in Michigan, Traverse City got hit so bad yesterday. The roads are all washed out, bridges are washed out. My son's sending me pictures right now, and they're some people are going to be trapped. They had to evacuate houses. The river all the water came up so hard, and it's been raining so hard with the snowpack that it's really super bad. All the time I lived up there, I've never seen that.
Did a bridge collapse? Did a bridge collapse?
A couple of them. A couple of bridge collapsed. A couple dams are ready to go. They're evacuating a bunch of people from their homes. The water's halfway up their houses. I lived up there 40 years, and I've never, ever, ever seen it like that. And then a tornado came through last night at 11 o'clock. So
anything else happening?
Yeah, this has been going on. I know. He's sending me pictures right now of the bridge collapse because he was on his way to work. I don't even know. But last night they were closing off roads, and I think there's only 3 roads to get all the way across town, and 2 of them are closed off because of the flooding, and one the bridge washed out.
Yeah,
so
kids are finding that felt so good.
It's bad. It's bad. So let's see. Let's do a prayer today.
Yes,
they need it up there. I just can't get over that. So what is desirable in a person is loyalty, and it is better to be poor than a liar. And what that is it's Proverbs 19:22. And it's like to focus on your integrity and make harmony in all your interactions with everybody. Amen.
Amen.
All right. You ready to do the pledge?
Yep, ready.
All right. I'm going to stand up. This is kind of crazy.
I think we're the only show that does this.
I think so too. Okay. Ready? Let's go.
Ready.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Come on, let's go have some fun.
I know. I like how she does it at the end. Let's go have some fun. I kept that on there instead of editing out because it was so funny. Well, a lamppost nut is like nothing compared to what I seen in the parking garage downtown Traverse City yesterday that was flooded halfway up. People were almost swimming to go get their cars because they started floating away. I'm not kidding. I've never, ever in my life ever seen it like that up there. It's just crazy. But and then it's dropping to 30 Sunday and they're supposed to get snow. So what the hell? And you talk about, I know Lo will talk about it, weather manipulation. I don't know if it was weather manipulation, but they had 3 inches of rain in one day, and then the snowpack just melted. So everything was all soft and there was nowhere for the water to go. It was just oversaturated. It was just oversaturated. So that's pretty damn sad. And so I know MK, I had trouble with Rumble this morning too. I don't know what's going on. It was taking a long time to load things. So if we have a little bit of trouble, I don't know. It's not on, it's Rumble, it's not us. So I don't know what to say. And thank you to everybody that showed up for After Dark last night. Wake Up Patriots After Dark at 7. It was great. It was really nice. We had fun. Okay, George. What do you want to start with, huh?
What I want to start. I was so happy about the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers about the case being dropped and cleared. So that I just got, that's why I was responding to some of the guys. So anyway, but you want to bring up, I don't know. I never saw so many Christians on TikTok in my life complaining about the pictures again. Could you bring that picture up first?
Which one? You got 2 down there.
No, the one with Trump on it.
Okay.
We'll go back to this again. So, man, let me tell you something. On TikTok, it's amazing how many people, even the people that had the TDS syndrome, became Christians, and this picture bothered them. Now, the original post, again, what we brought up yesterday was the one on the left that Nick Adams did, and it's Trump yelling, "The person in the bed is supposed to be America." That's the quote. That's why you see the soldiers in the background. There's the Red Cross there, and there's a lot of veterans and whatever. On the other one, and that was doctored, because if you look in the corner, as I said yesterday, there's a little clown in the corner, if you see it.
So it's just like our screens where there's a little clown.
Yeah, like the guy's doing a joke, but he caused so much shit with this photo. So and it was this, the photo that Trump posted is not this photo here. It's like cut off on that top. So what happened was they put up this one here. But what amazes me is the amount of people that came out and took their MAGA hats that look brand new and started taping them, "Make America Great Again," and all this other shit that they've been doing and everything else. And how they, oh man, how can we stand with him? And if you're a Christian and all that bullshit and everything else. But this is the main thing that what they're trying to do is break up the MAGA, but what amazes me, and also Trixie and everybody, is, you want to put up the next photo, please? Thank you. Did you freeze? You froze there, kid. Oh, we lost. It's not me. We lost Trixie. Trixie, hello. Hello. Oh my God. Is I'm the only one that's frozen, or that is she? Oh, I have to get back in again. Yeah, we lost it completely now. I can't put this other post up. Well, I think we lost Trick. Let me see. me text her. Did I lose myself? I think she lost the internet. Can anybody hear me? Yeah. I think she lost it. I'm calling her, so well, it's me then. I'm gonna be the worm for Wednesday. Um, maybe I have to do the stream yard again. Did you lose the internet? You got to do the stream again, or what? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart the stream again. I typed it in the thing. I don't know. Everything just stopped all of a sudden.
Yeah, like everybody sees me. So
I can't get on anything. So just it shows right now I don't have any internet. So
maybe that's it.
I
Yeah.
don't know. But it ain't me. Let me get off the phone. I'll call you right back so I can make sure there's not an outage here and it's Rumble. Okay.
Okie dokie. We have some internet problems here, I think. So I have to wait for her to call me back. But I'll entertain people if you don't mind. So, well, I can't post that. I can't put the picture up, but there. Everybody remembers the picture of the Last Supper that that they put up with all the transgenders, LGBTQ, XYZ, and everybody else. So nobody made a whole big thing about that when they did the Last Supper and uh, made that big fun of with all those people in that photo. So they didn't bring that whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. Thank you for the encouragement, little chick. Appreciate that. Oh, she's calling me. Hold on. Let's see. We have to start the thing all over the show. Hello? Are you gonna come back? Are you gonna come back into this show? Or are you gonna restart the whole thing over again? Okay. All right. All right. Everybody's standing by. They said that everybody's saying where's Tracy? She's the boss. She's the running the whole thing. And oh yeah, they're all. Yeah, I'm talking. Everybody sees me. They see I'm talking to you. All right. All right. Let me know. Okay. Okay, boss. Okay. Yes, master. Let's see if she can get back on. I don't know how she could do that. The woman's unbelievable. So she's not on here, so I could say she's unbelievable with this stuff. It's unreal. But thank God for Tracy. On the show, she's called Trixie, but whatever. But we have this. There's so much stuff. We got a video. I can't put the videos up. We have a lot of stuff that's happening about using our own common sense. That for some reason, a lot of these morons lost it all. So that's the main issue. The education. I know everybody saw on the news about that girl getting the Turning Point USA girl. There was the news reporter there, and that big asshole decides to push her down. I like to see him do that to me. Your big act. The girl, he was about 250 pounds, and she was like 110. And now you got as they say, the balls that you could do something like that to somebody little kid like that. But the blockade is working wonderful. There's a propaganda video out there that China got through, which they didn't. All the ships are coming to America, fueling up because they cannot exist. They cannot exist without fuel, especially China. Their ships are stranded in the water. China. And that's what I think the message that President Trump is trying to do is that, I mean, he's a great chess player. He called him out. Who got charged? Yeah, it was. And also, the Oath Keepers also. You know, I'm very involved with those guys. With the J6s and stuff. I was with them from the beginning when we used to do things, and we always got together with the Proud Boys because we want to work together. They're very big patriots. A lot of them are veterans and stuff like that. And the big thing is they had that swear of honor to the masculinity. Hold on a second. She's calling up again. Yes, Master. All right. No problem. She's rebooting the Master's rebooting her computer. Oh, you got to see all the comments of people where they constantly ask for you. I can't. I'm rambling here. I'm ram. I'm rambling. See, You don't even have to put the picture up about me. I can't understand a thing because RD Bull just says he's mumbling pretty good without Trixie. It's so funny. Not only we got good people in the chat, but we got comics. You know. All right, whatever. Okay, boss. Okay, master. Bye. I want to. I'll wait for Trixie to get back. But uh, Trump called their bluff. That's why he blocked the Straits of America. Now is going to be called since we took it over. But the ships can't. The fuel ain't happening. You know. They make a profit every day. Of Iran makes $435 million a day. $435 million a day. That's why they fund all these terrorist groups. You got seven terrorist groups that they fund. They got Hamas, they got Al Qaeda, Boko Haram, uh, the Houthis, Hezbollah. All of them, and that's what they want to do. We got to cut the head of the snake. There's no other way. There's no other way because they live by that Quran and they want us all killed. It doesn't matter what they do. And I believe what Trump is doing the right thing about cutting them off by the knees, as they say. And we got a lot of control. People don't understand. Oh, China's getting now. You don't understand. We have control over China. We have control over a lot of people because of the simple reason is the tariffs. They live off of our economy. We buy so much stuff off of China. Everything. I'm surprised toilet paper ain't made in China yet. Yes, she is. She's having computer problems. She's reset. She lost the internet for some reason. So, but there's so much going on. I wish everybody would. Wawa is everywhere. Yeah, this Wawa is everywhere. Do you know they have to in Florida? Wawa has to pay. Has to pay. I believe it's $250,000 for them to enter to put their gas stations up. Talking about money, you know. Since I switched to Starlink, that's what me and Tracy are talking about, doing about the Starlink. So it's going to be. We'll have the Starlink do a show. We're talking about that. Everything costs money, so I can't bring Sean on. I know Sean's on, but in fact, I think Tracy's got to leave like about 9:15 or 9:30 or something like that. So the show will be quick. Unless they leave me on, and then we could continue what we're talking about. But there's so much stuff happening. I'm hearing Double George, one in the StreamYard and one on Rumble. Really? I'm that good? I don't see her yet. She's not on there yet. So, anybody has any questions? Yep, correct. About Chevron, correct, 100%. About uh, the importance of with Chevron, because Chevron's got the wells in Venezuela and stuff. And but that's the problem. They're going to start building refineries here in the United States because we have all the oil we want right here. So and the gas too. So what you know what? And let me tell you how spiteful the liberals are. All right, upstate New York. You know that shell rock that they got that they could pump gas fuel out of there and gas out of there. There are so many people that own land up there that they stopped everything. I mean, people can make a lot of money up there. That's what they're going to do in Pennsylvania now. They just signed it yesterday. What other terms AI could find was 500 for equipment and 125. Oh, what? No, for Starlink. No, no. They have a big sale about the Starlink. But I know I have to judge about the speed. I got to ask my son. He's into that stuff. Talk to him about that. It's 50 a month, nothing for equipment. Yep. They had a big sale on it. In fact, it went down to $29.95 just recently. There was an ad on, I believe it was on Facebook about it. But it looks like JC's hasta luego. It looks like it's me all over. So, what would everybody like to talk about? Would you like to talk about the Muslim situation that we're having all over this country? That the Pope turned around, and the Pope is, Pope didn't make any comments about the prosecution of all the Christians that are being killed in Niger, in Africa. That they killed tens of thousands of Christians down there and burnt Christian churches, but they didn't say anything about that. Yeah. Oh, about the rally that what's her name didn't show up at the Turning Point USA thing. But well, you have to understand she has her own security, but the Secret Service is not going to take their main concentration is on JD Vance. It's not going to be on her at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're there, but their main concentration would be JD Vance, not her. She feels like that somebody of her security said there was a threat happening and stuff like that. So. I don't know about that one, but you never know because I mean, look what they did to Charlie Kirk. So, they just don't care. These liberals are so radical. It's unbelievable. I would put them on the same level as the Islamic terrorists because look what they do. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I still say the one that was caught for the bombs for January 6th, it ain't him. I don't care what anybody says. They're not supposed to. Nope. Pope's not supposed to use that. Let me tell you, the Vatican has a lot of, they have their own Swiss guards there and everything, but the Vatican has a lot of gold. A lot of gold. So, yeah, well, that's true, right, Ginger? Because for the same thing, Erica cannot take a chance because the thing that Turning Point USA is very powerful, and because of what it's doing to the young generation about keeping them back together and bringing them back to church and tell them how important it is and bring back the masculinity and about marriage and about having kids, and that's what pissed off the Democrats. They're so evil. It's unbelievable. I mean, you hear the shit that comes out of their mouth. And then now with the swallow well, everything's coming out with that one, which is, I think, it's funny. But they all turned on him. But what's amazing is the fake news media. CBS didn't cover it. Or was it CBS didn't cover it? All of them didn't cover it except one. I think it gave it like a minute and a half or something like that. A quick thing about that. But I'm amazed that they didn't cover it. I'm amazed that they didn't cover it because all the Democrats are turning up against them, even Pelosi. And Pelosi says she had nothing to do with it. I don't know if she was drunk when she said it or what, but she said, no, we didn't know nothing about it. No. All these other guys are saying, oh, yeah, Gallego, he's going to be next. Yep. They're trying to match the sneakers. It's, you know, you see like what they did with the politicians. Remember with, what's his name? The evangelist, what's it? Him and his wife were on that show and what they did. It's just unbelievable. Hit the like button for George. Yeah, thank you. Hit the like button. But it's not 9 o'clock yet. I think we're it. Oh, she must be steaming. She's parking. I can tell you right now that this has happened. Oh my God. Oh, she's gonna. Let me say something. She'll be because this. Oh, she's calling me back. Hold on. Yes, Master.
They're not going to have it fixed until noon, so I'm going to try to go into Rumble Studio on my phone. So I don't. There's nothing I can do. So I won't be able to pull up any clips or anything for you. I'm going to try it.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Just I mean, they're missing you because they're getting tired of me already.
Well, you want me? You can put me on speakerphone, and I can sit here and talk. If that would work.
I got you on speaker now. Everybody listens to everything you say.
I'm going to try doing it through my phone. Okay.
All right, no problem. All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right, bye. I'll tell LaShawn too.
Okay.
Right, I'm glad you think it's funny. It's not funny. I'm surprised she's not freaking out. Oh my God, talk about being calm. Yeah, no, just I'll tell you. Hey, before I forget, I'd like to sending prayers for Adi Bull's daughter. She's going through some stuff now, so keep the daughter in your prayers. Be much appreciated. We like to people in need with prayers. So good. Anyway, so it won't take long. Say a little bit prayer a day. Doesn't. Well, that about the slush fund. Let me tell you something. They try to, and that's why I was a little leery about that the post we put up about with Massey in it, unless she was bringing it up. No, the bike's not wrapped yet. Sorry, the guy delayed me so many times already. You know, he's a good guy. Yeah, this kid got sick, but I'll have it by Georgia. In fact, the ride I'm doing is for the soldier suicide run. So I'm going to put at least 2,000 miles from Georgia going up to Ohio and stuff. So I like to do the Route 66, and that starts in Chicago, goes all the way to California. And that one I never did, but I'd like to do that. I would enjoy to do that one. So, but there's so much. I'm amazed. I have to say, I'm amazed. I'm guilty of looking at TikTok too, but I just laugh at what people are doing. They're getting their Trump hats, and they look brand new. And who's putting tape over Trump? Who's putting tape over the 45-47? It's like unbelievable. And what's funny is you could tell that they're not true MAGA people. Of course, even my doctor said yesterday he's worried about what Trump's doing. He can't worry about what Trump. He moves very quickly. He can't wait for decisions. And you got spies in Congress, especially the Democratic Party, that would give out all our information that we'll have to do. That's how bad it is. They don't give a fuck about this country. They never do. They're so evil. And now they're talking about Schumer comes out with this chart about this ain't working, the blockade is not working, that ain't working. And the biggest problem is is that the Republicans don't come out as much as they do. The Democrats are always constantly in front of the news. Are you on the phone watching me? What are you watching me for? I thought you were going to come on. All right, whatever. Anyway, so that's the main thing. I mean, they hate this country so bad; it's unbelievable. I see it. It's unbelievable. You watch the. Yeah, I know. Everybody. I told them they heard you. Put you on speaker. Say what you want in there. They're spying. Yeah, they are. Hey, listen, we're gonna have to get that Starlink, boss. We're gonna have to do it. They got a big sale on it. I think it's $30. Mm. Yeah, there is. It was on there. Denise, we discussed this about the Starlink because if we got to keep the show going, we can't afford the interruption with the Wi-Fi and stuff. Yeah, but the whole thing is, it's her area, high winds and stuff. You know, they got the cables. You know, the cables and everything else. They don't. You know, I mean, if you're underground, it's okay, but you know, they're redoing a lot of the cables in the old areas that, you know, Xfinity and all these other cable companies, because everybody's challenging them with the fiber. The fiber is underground now, and fiber is being run all over the place. I mean, some of these companies are not reliable with the fiber until they get their shit together. I told it, hey, listen, we got the Italian disease here. You know, funds are low. You know, of course, no, but I would do that. Yeah, they did fiber here. I had Wow, the company here, doing the fiber, and then you know once they're out, they're done. I went back. Well, you got to go back and forth with these companies because I got a good deal with the um, Spectrum. They gave me like I saved like about $100 compared to Wow, and they gave me faster speed for 2 years. I got locked in, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, we got to bargain with them because they're all hurt now. You know, before they had. I, I'll tell you a story, which I like stories. Many years ago, there was a phone company and there was a cable company. And the phone company turned around and had an agreement with the cable company, and this is fact, that the phone company, Marbell or whatever you want to call them, they wouldn't go into the cable business, and the cable business wouldn't go into the phone system. Then what happened? In fact, I was one of the first ones that worked on fiber in the city, and that was a big project with that. Now they splice them in the street like nothing. But what happened was that was the deal. Then what happened is they found out the cable company found out they could do voice over IP, which they could digitally convert telephone into analog, so you could pick up the phone and talk. So when they found that out, they busted wide open, and then the phone company decided to start to run fiber. So there was a mutual agreement between the companies. But then, you know, when it comes to money, because when they found out about that and everything else, but you can't beat the fiber. I mean, when they came out with the fiber, I mean, the cable was, man. Let me tell you, it was about that wide, and they had for 12 fibers. They had this wide. They had membranes for each fiber, and you had to get dressed up in a white thing, and everything was so. Am I freezing too? Maybe something will rumble. I don't know where Stacy is, but those are the things. But let's get back to politics, right? For everything. So now we know that uh, Tune is still holding back on that Safe Act, which everybody's calling and pressuring. I don't understand why they don't do the filibuster, but and this is how we get, and this is how politics sucks, and these guys are in there too long. They got to get out. I mean, you got Grace Grassley. He's like 87 years old. I mean, you had Feinstein was still 90. She was in there, but they don't complain. Like all the stuff that was done. All right, now they're breaking his balls swallow about the messing around he did with the women and stuff. But what about with the Chinese spy, Fang Fang Bing Bang, right? What they did with the he's giving out all these secrets, you know, and nothing happened. Feinstein's driver was a Chinese driver, and she was opening up her mouth with secrets. And we'll go back what General Flynn said: there is no accountability, and the Democrats are out there constantly complaining about the Republicans, but the Republicans don't fight back. They just sit there, don't say shit. It's like this. No, skunk, you're not late. Everything is all. Tracy's on the chat, and she can't be on the show because she lost her internet. So we'll fix that. We're guaranteed to do the Starlink, so we don't have that trouble. I believe Red's back home, hopefully, safe and everything else. But that's the thing. You're right. It's like you're 100% right about him, and the whole thing is they don't do nothing about it. The Republicans, they don't do anything. They do not. They refuse. They have so much power. The House has so much power of what they can remove and what they can do about the judges and everything else that stop and all this stuff. The Republicans, the rhinos, do not want to make Trump's job easy. It's all a plan. They don't want him. They hate him. You got Florida, the same shit here too. All these states. There's a lot of people that hate. Who's this? Miami. I don't talk to anybody. Back to Miami. I'll call them later. Might be. Anyway. Sorry about that. Yeah, well, that's the best thing. I have a clip from Glenn Beck, and we played that yesterday. Remember about with their funding, the billionaires are funding these organizers of these protests and stuff like that against billionaires, but it's billionaires funding the thing and everything else. And they're going to go after them. They're going to go after them about with the 501c3 and everything else. They're going to get hit with all the stuff if the procedures will happen. We're dealing with Iran right now, and there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to be happening in the United States, but the main concentration is to take down Iran. They're involved in a lot of stuff. You have no idea what they're involved in. By buying their fuel, we shouldn't even buy their fuel because of what they did to our soldiers. They're the ones that came out with the IEDs, the explosives that were put in the ground. So, maimed our soldiers and killed them. They came out with this stuff. And don't forget, they come to this country and we educate them. They should not come to this country at all. No more students. Let them stay where they are. Chinese students, no more students. George, what is going on with Corey Mills? Oh yeah, let me tell you something. I was a big fan of Corey Mills, and I had to make an apology on Facebook because what that piece of shit did. Besides that, with the women, he got married in a mosque, and the whole thing with he's got so much shit and so much bullshit coming out of his mouth. I don't like him at all. But another mistake that was done by somebody. The greatest thing I think happened, and I really don't care because the move of Susie Wild is out of the picture and Stevie Mills there, and you see everything that's happening now. You had what's her name? Judge Jean Perro is the one that fought it for the J6s now. All the charges are being dropped and everything else, but somebody had to do something, and she took the bull by the horns because people are being stopped. Our own government is stopping this stuff. You heard them. You heard that piece of shit that Raskin that turned around and said that we're gonna go after every MAGA person out there, and also Susan Rice. You know, this is what we have to deal with, and this is what we have to why. Oh, the reason why the only way Omar is going to get thrown out if they prove about her citizenship and about how she got here. That's the only way. You know, that's the only way it's going to happen. There's not enough people in the Congress to get her out and stuff like that. But there's all rules and everything else they follow. Got me, you know. I mean, there's laws that they got. They can remove judges, no problem. You know, like what do you call Johnson can have Congress members arrested. They got the sergeant of arms has the right to do that. I say that all the time. They got a beautiful, beautiful jail down in the Capitol. Wonderful. You know. Yeah, I know a guy, as they say. I wish. Let me tell you something. There's got to be something's got to happen. So, and they're out with like I said, they're out all. The main subject now is the photo of Trump. That's the main thing. That's why I put it up before. We put it up before, and that's the big thing. That is the main thing. They're talking about the photo. Forget about, it's like, let's look over here now, distract everything, what's going on over here. And it just doesn't stop. It keeps on going. Oh, yeah, hey, do you remember, we were talking about this, me and Sean were talking about this the other day. Do you remember when Johnson came out and said, Ukraine is not getting another dime. He's not getting another penny. I don't care what happens. Then he was called into a meeting with Biden, the CIA, and Schumer. So they must have had some dirt on him because when he came back out again, they approved the money going to Ukraine, the billions of dollars going to Ukraine. So there's stuff on a lot of people. Let me tell you, the CIA is unbelievable. Them and everybody, they have, I mean, even what do you call all these people that are getting busted now with, P. Diddy, guaranteed worked for the CIA. So did, what's his name? The wonderful files that are someplace, the Epstein files at someplace. So, and there's a lot, there's a lot of accusations that aren't really accusations. They some women did it because to make themselves a fame and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of investigation. Oh, your eyes are rolling. Why are your eyes rolling, Red Junior? Did I miss something? Let me see. Oh yeah, they had a video of they showing a video of Swallow, some young girl, and they think it's maybe Gonzalez or somebody else that on the bed twirling this girl around and stuff like that, and they might think she's underage too. That's got to be something else. Well, there was a choice between Toon and Scott, but they picked Toon for the simple reasons McConnell has still, even if he can't walk, he should die, but he can't walk because of what do you call it? He has more control. It's unbelievable, and the whole thing with McConnell will go around in circles again. Yeah, Galileo, that's him. Yep. He was. I think he might be in that video. They're trying to match the sneakers. How you like that one? Let's match the sneakers. I mean, there were some side shots of his face that you could tell it's him. So. Yeah, well, they just the control that we don't have what we're supposed to have. I mean, it's just. We elect these people. They're supposed to represent us. By right, they're supposed to come back with every bill. They're supposed to go to the people that elect them and say, listen, they want me to pass this bill. You know, and what do you think about it? Well, you know, we'll put it to a vote and let's see how many hands and whatever. And then the voting will get done. They don't do that anymore. They don't. Glock says it's him, then it's him. So, but it's just unbelievable. The stuff, the information I get, it's terrible to see what's going on. You know, like you know, with the now, thank God, you know, like General Flynn got a little settlement. He didn't get enough for what the shit he went through, and these Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. You know, you don't know how important those organizations were, and politicians were afraid to talk about them. When I went and spoke at places, I always brought them up. Wasn't afraid to say who they are. They were proud Americans. They were patriots. A lot of veterans too. The Oath Keepers were a lot of cops and veterans that were retired. They had some other regular people. There's a guy. I said it yesterday. Joe Hackett. You know, he had a chiropractor business, and they won't give him his license because he has all this shit against him. He lost his wife. He lost the house. He couldn't work for anybody. It's very hard for him to work for other chiropractors because he has a record. Well, now it'll be all cleared up. I think we should have a big. When I get back, we're going to figure out. I was talking to Robin Siebold, and we might do a thing, a get together, have a celebration for all of them, which would be very nice. But I can't believe it took this long. But if everything getting attacked now and cleared up, there must have been somebody to hold back the stuff that's not there anymore. Common sense. So supposedly they're naming another road. I think it's the Sawgrass of Florida. President Donald J. Trump's highway. You know, I don't know if the people that have that Trump syndrome are they going to go around 50 miles more just to not ride that highway because it's named after him. So, the airport's named after him. It's going to be named on July 1st. The name is going to be changed as Donald J. Trump International Airport. So they're going to be puking. Let's see. Check Dr. Yeah, they think it's you know, like I said before, remember the Bakers? Remember? And they were taking everybody for a fool. How many people followed them and all that stuff and everything else? And they find out he was dipping a little bit. And they had people came out. What's her name? Jessica. No, was it? What was her name? I met her too. I can't remember the name. It drives me crazy about these names. Jessica. Was it Jessica? Ooh. That's it. Jessica. I was right with the first name. Jessica Hahn. And she's still alive. Let's see what she looks like. Yes, Jessica Hahn, former model, actress, blah, 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 all that stuff. Jessica Hahn. Let's see. Gotta look what her photo looks like today. So I can save it and download it. She was pretty good looking girl too. Then she had her body fixed up a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, but that's who it was, Jessica Hahn. They just destroyed the whole faith of a lot of people that followed the Bakers, right? Yeah, we're gonna. In fact, they were they were preaching and say, "Oh, we're gonna have a good time today." Baker was telling that guy that was with him all the time, and then all of a sudden they were meeting Jessica in the back room. Yeah, Playtime's Howard Stern. She did it. I think she did a porno movie too. I know she was an opportunity, but the whole thing is she took down something that was really big. Let me tell you, you know. But that was I'm looking at the chat, looking at the chat over here. Yeah, but she took down a big operation there. I mean, they were making millions. Even what's his name? I used to listen to Jimmy Swaggart. You know, even that other guy Olson. I think he's the biggest piece of shit. He has a lot of followers too. You know, I feel sorry for you people that try to preach the gospel. You know, there's a big thing in the Bible saying about you. You start leading the flock the wrong way, you're gonna be you're gonna burn more than anybody else. You might hook up with the Islamic terrorists down there. So, so what do you think Trump's going to do today? What's he going to talk about today? How's he going to aggravate the left? Let me see what happened. Jimmy. Oh yeah, Jimmy Crockett. She's gonna. Let me tell you something. What about what? If, listen, the Republican Party. I mean, they got this woman coming from Chicago that was in the thing was uh, money and everything else with money, stolen proof and everything else, and now she's coming down to Georgia to run for Congress on a Republican ticket. What is it? Because they're not saying anything because they didn't think they get the seat, or it's for the right purpose? Oh, that's good information. I didn't know that. They say Iran can only store. No wonder they don't want to come to the table. Stop oil wells for 2 weeks before they freeze up. That's a big nut. I didn't know that. I know. Listen, I trigger a lot of people. You know, we come from the same area. When it comes to Queen, I mean, we come from New York. I'm pretty sarcastic sometimes. You know, it's not going to be. It's not going to be. You know, we have to. You know, he's a great chess player because for the simple reason is what he did. He controlled the blockade, and now there's a lot of ships coming to America to get oil. And the reason why, like I said, I remember, if you remember me yesterday when I said about Venezuela, it was important to take over Venezuela because for the simple reason is their oil is thicker than ours, and our refinery can't break down our oil compared to with the mixture of Venezuela oil and our oil, so it could be done by the refineries that we have and the refineries that are set up. So that's the problem. So now they're going to build new refineries. There's a big pipeline, gas pipeline that's being done from Pennsylvania because of the fracking that's done there. And there's going to be a lot of people make a lot of money because a lot of people own a lot of land there. So God bless them. Oh, you're going, right, Sean? Have a good day, brother. What else can we bring up? That's a good point. Don't forget, we sold Russia our uranium with Hillary. Did that one? You remember that, Insider? They people do not. A lot of people do not understand what the evilness in the Democrat that try to do this country. They want this country destroyed. They're so. Let me tell you, this is how they don't give a shit. The Democrats are using. They believe they're using the Muslims and all this terrorist. The bring Palestine, all that shit, and everything else. They think that they're helping the Democrats, but the Muslims are using the Democrats to take over this country. Well, we have video clips exactly how these people respond. They don't care. That they put a store on fire. This young guy was because they were selling, I don't know, liquor and stuff like that. This guy decides to throw gas in front of his restaurant and stuff, and the people are almost trapped inside the restaurant. That's how sick they are. They're fanatics. They believe that they have the right to control the world. They believe that Islam is going to take over the world unless we stop them. We can't just say, okay, we're gonna, what are we going to do about it? You can't. We got to do something about it. You can't do what? What are we going to do about it? Mm. Well, just be careful. I mean, people buy if you're allowed to carry that, the spray, carry it. Always carry a gun. If you're allowed to carry a gun, because they'll attack. They walk up to people and just punch them in the face and knock them down. They don't care. They have to, especially when the holidays start coming around. So we have a lot of good people out there that are gonna not stand by. I went to a few of them, but they just not gonna they're not gonna stand by. They're just not gonna stand by and let this country go by. There's people that are ready to fight to save our country. Trust me when I'm telling you. Yeah, tasers are good. Yep, everything. Don't be afraid. Uh, they have a great taser out there that you put the band around your arm and you hold the taser. So if the taser gets pulled out of your hand, right, without the pin, it doesn't work. So the pin's attached to your wrist. So if the guy comes up to you and tries to take it out of your hand, it won't work on you. They got great tasers out there. USN. I don't think we learned at school. Have been forgotten. Yeah, well, a lot of things have been forgotten. I said this all the time. Obama used to say all the time. Not Obama. Osama bin Laden. Our own rules, our own laws are going to destroy us. And because of our simple, what's this? I'm going to see what's her name's calling me. Homestead. Yeah. Hello? Hello? Waste my time. Anyway. I was trying to see if Tracy was calling me. Let's give you an example in Hernando County. And I know some people will listen to me. There's a Muslim girl that's a student in the school. She's representing students. Okay? And the school board allows this. The majority of the school board are God-fearing people, but there's one that's a liberal. They came in here with buses during the school board meeting because a lot of them were piece of shit liberals. And what they were doing is they were pushing the LGBTQ XYZ all like crazy, and the books that they were putting out. There was a guy that's a guy that may believe it was a girl, and now he walked with 3 girls to go to the women's bathroom. And the fucking cops are standing right out there. And I went there, I said, you let him to go in? You stand there and let this guy go in that bathroom with the women? What if that's with your daughter? Oh, it ain't gonna happen. Then why didn't you stop him? Yeah, testimony, agree with Ron DeSantis, what he did. But there's a lot of laws that are signed that are not fucking enforced. That's the problem. Who's going to enforce those laws? Every mosque should have Department of Homeland Security and the FBI out there to check everyone that come out. When the Trade Center was hit and it was coming down in Passaic there, they were jumping up and down and celebrating. And then Trump brought it up and they said, oh, the news, fake news media says, oh, bullshit. No, it wasn't bullshit because I remember it happened. They didn't come to work. We had to work with 2 Muslim techs. They didn't work. They didn't come in. Half of the cabs didn't show up. They know. They know. Whether it was an inside job or not, it don't fucking matter. That our government knew about it, which they did because for the simple reason is Brennan, who worked for the CIA, was in Saudi Arabia and converted to Islam, and he signed 12 of the 19 terrorists that were attacking our land. 12 out of the 19, he signed the student visas for these pieces of shit to come here. And you know what they were? Now, Saudi Arabia has 2 factions there. They got the Sunnis, which the majority of them, and they got the Shiites. I call them Shiites, the Shiites. Those are the radical Islam. The 19 that were doing everything, they were Shiite. Part of Iran. Iran funded them. Paid for the schools down here in Florida. And the best ones are the teachers down here in Florida turn around. Oh, I just want to learn how to fly the plane, not land. Is that a hint? Is that a hint? What? It is going to be banned nationwide. It has nothing to do. The problem is Sharia law is not in our Constitution. There's no right for anybody to practice. And in Texas, there's 2 Sharia courts. In Texas. Yeah, but it still doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about they gotta pass, they have to pass it. No matter what we do in the States, it doesn't matter. It's gotta be done, countrywide. The Save America Act. There's no reason for them to win. There's no reason for Toon not to pass this thing. And you know why he does stop passing it? Because he wants his way. He knows Paxton and Cornyn, whatever the fuck his name is, which I hate him. He's a piece of shit, anti-Trump and everything else. But Toon wants him in that Senate. And Paxton could beat him. I saw the conversations with them and Trump. I saw what he was doing. Paxton's a great guy. He's a patriotic, God-fearing man, smart man, and everything else. Had conversations with him. Great guy. And he would be perfect. He would be perfect for that job in the Senate. He was a great attorney general. The Bushes were after him, and they're still after him. The Bushes hate that man because he's in Texas, because the Bushes controlled Texas. We had scumbag presidents, believe it or not. You know, when Bush stood on that mountain at the Trade Center, and the people are going to hear us, blah, 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 that stuff. Oh, the patriotism that was around was fucking unbelievable. You couldn't buy a flag on 9/12. 9/11 happened, 9/12, everybody had American flags out. Everybody loved everybody. Patriotism was unbelievable. I miss 9/12. What was brought out by the American people. And Bush wanted us to get in that war. They knew where Osama bin Laden was. Even Clinton knew where he was. The coal was hit. The barracks in Beirut were hit. All funded by Iran. You got business here, Muslim businesses down here, all over the United States, that send money to CARE, that send money to these terrorist groups, that send money to everything else. We should not sponsor these people. Like we shouldn't buy anything from China, because the money you're giving them are going to wind up killing our people. The oil that you buy from Iran, same shit. We're paying them to kill our own people. You got the Rockefellers are still in control. They just it goes back the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Look what they did when. Oh, please, I can't talk about it. Get on this information. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Radicalism been here. I remember I said this story once before. I had to go do a job, and they gave me the address. They wouldn't tell me where it was because they know how I am. In fact, it was the Communist Party of America, and it was in New York on 26th Street between Madison and Fifth. I still remember it. And when I walked there was a big red door. I mean, you couldn't get any redder on this door to show that, yo, this is communist. And I walked in there, the fucking propaganda that was all over the walls, the thing with the sickles and all the shit and everything else. It was unbelievable. So they've been here for a long time. They've been trying to attack us since the late 1800s. They know how powerful this country is. Again, I say this over and over again. 250 years old we are, right? Coming up to our birthday. And they still, it's unbelievable how much we progressed, how smart we were, how we were blessed by God to know all this stuff, the technology and everything else. People don't understand that we were blessed by God. Let me tell you something. Atheist, guaranteed, if a plane's going down, the atheist is on a plane, he'll say, God, please help me. I said that about Butler. Yep, FL Trump, 100% right. Look how fast the FBI got in there. They cremated the body right away. They cleaned the place with bleach and everything else. Talk about hiding stuff. This is what's under the Biden administration. There's never been so much hatred to a president, except maybe Lincoln from the South, but never like it is here. The hatred wasn't as hatred of Biden. Obama was elected twice, even by white people. So don't tell me any of that shit that were racist and prejudiced and all that shit. They used the black people. That's what their plan was. The problem is the Republicans are the ones that gave them the right to vote. Even the women the right to vote. It was the Republicans, not the Democrats. The Democrats didn't want that power. They wanted the black people to have that power. Because they convinced the people, the African American people, about Jim Crow, who was a Democrat, about the KKK, who were Democrats, stuff like that. They won't. That's right. NGOs are big. Correct. Democrats get money. It's all funneled. It's all fun. And that's why the Democrats attacked Elon Musk, because he was getting close to that pot. He was getting close to that kettle about exactly what's going on. Right? He was on it. He was. Look how they hide stuff. Remember Pizzagate? Pizzagate came out. Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, no, good. Yeah. Podesta ordered a pizza. And it depended how you ordered the pizza, if you got a boy or a girl. Kid. He was the one that ordered that pizza. What was he? Democrat. He was Hillary's campaign manager. Everything that happens is like a plant. like Obama was nurtured. All of a sudden, at a clear blue sky, he was a community organizer. All of a sudden, became president of the United States. Why? Because it was nurtured for him to be who he was and to be put here as president. They were trying to do the same thing with Kamala. Remember, the Constitution starts with "we the people," and that's who has to have control. Not Congress, not the Senate. We put them in control. We put them to vote the way we want them to vote, not the way they want to vote. That's right, Augie. You got that right. I remember. The United States is the highest in trafficking. America is. The biggest time is, believe it or not, is the Super Bowl. But why do they bury it? Why don't they enforce it? Why is all this stuff stopping? Now, thank God it finally came to the thing about with the J6s. It's unbelievable how long. What these guys went through, put in a hole. They were treated because they were Trump supporters. The jails that they went in, then they went from jail to jail, put in a hole, couldn't talk, everything else. It was unbelievable what they were being treated. Patriots were treated this way for 2 fucking years. And you don't realize how much the Democrats, if they get in control again, that you people are not going to vote for the Republican Party. You can't have the Democrats in charge. They're going to come all after us. But there's going to be a lot of bloodshed, I tell you right now. A lot of people ain't going to sit back and wait to get arrested like they did. I mean, look how the FBI raided some of the J6's house with the wife and the kids with guns drawn, with the sensors on the machine guns and stuff like that coming. It's just unbelievable what they did. So I know, but look at the people that are out there. I mean, you could look at the amount of people they organized, and the protesters that are out there and stuff like that. How do you? I'm putting stuff on my knee. In fact, Stacy gave me this cream. It works pretty good. Some herbal stuff. I'm supposed to get both of my knees done, my other shoulder done. Be the $6 million man. I ain't doing my knees. There's stuff coming out. Yeah, they're coming for everybody. Anybody that voted for Trump, they'll have records. You'll be surprised how fast they get the records, the voting records. That was a great joke about the guy that went to go vote next to the officer. Did you see my wife here? And the officer said, "Oh, let me check. What's her name?" And he tells her the name. He says, "Yeah, she was here this morning early." He said, "Oh my God, I missed her. I can't believe it." So he says, "Oh, why don't you talk to her?" He says, "Well, she's been dead for 15 years, so she voted, right?" And that's how they did it. They had proof. The 2,000 Mules, the movie, everything was proof. The videos that showed that they had the cases underneath and nothing fucking happened. Nothing happened. I know the protesters are paid. Do you ever see the people? They were in wheelchairs and standing up and all this stuff. And the signs are all professionally made. I won't be surprised they didn't give the signs to the people that stood by the power plants. So we have a lot of history in this country. A lot. And I can't believe, I don't care what anybody says, but if it wasn't for Trump, the first time he got elected, we would have never known how bad this was. We had our eyes closed or something. Everything was going like so smooth and everything else, and rattled everybody. And then he was just set up, All of a sudden now Pence comes out and says, "Oh, Trump's doing a great job." Was he looking to run for presidency? That was a big thing. He was a traitor. He was all agreement. Everything was agreed. He was going to accept the challenge of the votes. On January 6th, he was going to. He had a meeting up in the, what do you call, Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. He was there. And then when he went to Turning Point USA, or was it CPAC? Was he? But at Turning Point USA, he turned around and told all those kids out there, on January 6th, they're going to hear us. That's what he said. They're going to hear us. So you thought he was going to accept the challenge, and he didn't. What he did, his chief of staff, which came out of the fucking woodwork again, turned around and said, well, if you want to become president, you better not agree to this. You better not take those votes in. Because what happens, you won't have the deep state behind you to win the presidency. And that's why he betrayed people. So if you're betrayed that way, if you're betrayed once, you'll always be betrayed. I have a thing in my group. You screw me once, that is it. It's the final. I don't give you a second chance. You know why I don't give you a second chance? Because if you fucking did it to me once, you're going to fucking do it again. That's the rule I live by. I'll give you the shirt off of my back and everything else. But don't try to fuck me. Hey, Trixie Beck. Got a little note from Trixie. What are you doing, Trix? Nice job, what I could watch. That's all you give me? Nice job? Typical woman. Women never give you credit. Oh, listen, next week we're going to have a guest on our show. His name is Kevin Sobel's and Sam's son. I heard him speak. It was amazing. He wrote 2 books about masculinity and how important it is for the kids today. And what a great! I'll tell you what. I won't be surprised if he doesn't become something very special in politics. Could be, Trump's son and him as vice president. But the kid is excellent. What a speaker. I was so impressed with him. They got great parents also. They're very involved with their children and stuff and everything else. So. Yeah, keep us updated on that, Audie Bull. We'd like to know. Oh, here we go. Talk about kissing ass. Oh, George, you're the man. Oh. That's because you're on the other side of the screen, he said that stuff. The churches have to understand, and like I said, with all the pictures we showed before, about how they all came out, TikTok about Trump as the Antichrist and everything else like that. People take things out of context because they want to. And the reason why they want to, because they don't believe that there's a good man out there that wants to save. Really? I didn't know that one. Boy, that's a shocker. 5,000 Cubans are fighting. They're fighting with Russia, right? They got no people. Russia's losing a lot of people. I thought George froze a minute. No, I'm thinking, concentrating. I have to stop and think, because with things that I say, I'm so fucking pissed off that I can't believe we're going through this in this country. It's unbelievable. That's what gets me. When I stop and I really want to think about because the words that come out of my mouth ain't gonna be too cute. Alone. I want to be alone. I told you I was in. Nobody felt bad for me when I wasn't on the bike for 3 months because I had my shoulder replaced. I was hoping I was going to get sympathy cards and nothing. I was gonna sit on the bike and then make Alan hold the fan up so the wind could hit my face. That is the best therapy, riding that bike. Best therapy. Do you know why? When you ride and you look at these roads and the sky, even the chemtrails are there, but the beautiful stuff that's out there, such beautiful stuff that's out there, what God has created, there couldn't be anybody else to create a world like this. I mean, the world's fucked up. I'm talking about with the Democrats and all those liberal assholes that are out there. But I'm talking about just the beauty of this country. I rode roads. The roads I rode on had to be created by God. Had to be. Oh, I'm ready. So I'm getting the bike wrapped again, the same way the other one was, because you know how people I have to say, I love you, brother. I have to say that because you're a funny man. I don't have a lawnmower. I got a landscaper. Mm. Yeah, I got to get my palm trees trimmed. Oh man, it's like all the dead. We got hit with a bad frost here. It's like unbelievable. But like I said, the roads are. I took roads. I mean, unbelievable. And when I did cross, come across the strait, I did 26 states. Unbelievable. I went to a town, and this is no bullshit. I went to a town. I'm not lying. The population was like 10 or 8 or something like that. It was a big sign. And you would be riding on the bike, say you're going like 80 miles an hour, and then it says slow down, and you hit the 70, and say 50. And as soon as you hit 50, it would drop down to 35. And there's a cop there. So the cop is right there. He's judge, jury, and the police officer. That's good. That's good, man. You got 3 acres. If I knew what I knew now, when I bought down here, I would have had 3 acres. What am I agreeing about, Trixie? Are we having a one? But wait, we have to do a worm another day. We'll have to do instant replay for you. Trixie will have wormhole tomorrow because unfortunately. Well, I didn't have the worm, so you're right. We'll do it tomorrow. No problem. We have to, we have to. It's worm day Thursday. I went someplace Saturday to meet some people, and this guy had like 10 acres. It was very nice. He had a gun range on the property and everything else. So there are a lot of people out here. There are a lot of people. I can't take this picture now. Dude, whatever. So what time is it? Hey, 6 more minutes and we have to go. Yeah, what do you mean it was up to me? What do you mean? You're in charge. You're Trixie. You call the shots. If you want to say when Wednesday, wormy Wednesday, whatever you want to do, it's fine. But I have to one day, if everybody would like, I would like to cover some history. It's so important to understand how this country was really done. Oh, thank you very much. I look very good full screen. That's why. See, Trixie wants to hog everything. She puts me in a little box all the time. She wants to hide me. But we have to understand. The most important thing is it's in the Bible, the verse, about what God has ordained, it's going to happen. Doesn't matter. And the other thing is, I want to remind everybody with numbers. Numbers are very important because they're signs, all right? When Trump was assassinated, well, I said assassination attempt, I should say assassinated. The attempt of assassination in Butler. All right, it was 6/11/33, exactly to the time. So if you look up Ephesians 6:11, it shows put the armor of God upon you to protect yourself from evil or Satan or whatever I'm going to say, but that's what it is. But the interesting number is also 33, which 33 is this exact age that Jesus died. On Easter, which we believe Jesus rose from the dead and appeared out of the cave. Stone was moved, he rose. That's exactly where they found the pilot, in a cave. On 4/5. 4/7, yeah, 4/5. Which the number 45 is President Trump's number. But it's amazing how everything does. That's right, correct, yep. That's right, 40 days. It's exactly, yep, from April 8th. The whole thing. It's amazing how things are there, how the signs are there, right? With the 40 days of when Jesus was in the desert. And then on Friday, Good Friday, the bloodstorm went across the bloodstand, and the bloodstorm went across Australia. Didn't that happen in the Old Testament during Passover, which was Passover? And all the Jewish people wanted to stay in the house, paint their doors, because death was coming. So there's a lot of signs out there. There's a lot of signs out there. And I believe the signs are there for a reason, to make people understand, people that do understand. When somebody has control over a situation, and not to put a thing with about President Trump, but he's trying to control the situation because he has so many people fighting against him, especially the Democrat and the rhinos that are there. It's constantly fighting, and I don't know how this guy is surviving. I mean, the stuff that he's going through, and he answers the press like crazy. And the biggest question of the press was about the photo. Not what was going on Earth, what was going on around here, but no, about the photo. They all program. They all get, I believe 100% that all the fake news media gets an email and says, hey, check this out. We're all going to say the same thing. Oh, yeah. Every one of them. Every one of them. Do you know Obama's campaign manager met with the pastor? With the Pope? Do you know that Obama met with the England Prime Minister? And there should be no right for him to do it. But when they try to undermine things, it happens. Well, stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to have a Thursday Worm Day Thursday, or whatever. But the movie was Balls. What movie was that? What movie? April 8th. No, you're right. Well, 45 April 5th, they found it, the pilot, and then Trump said on 47 for April 7th was the number 47 that he's going to wipe the shit out of it. And there's no other way. Hey, Pastor Jack, there's no other way to keep keep this world in order by destroying Iran. They cannot survive. Not with who's in charge. That is who's in charge. Oh, the dancing banana. Don't forget to rumble. Thumbs up, please, everybody. Appreciate it. Very important. We're doing pretty good with people watching us, which is good. You know, we try our hardest. Thank you. I appreciate the positive comments I'm getting from everybody. You know, that's no problem. I don't mind doing it. You know, we try to do our best. You know, me, Sean, Trixie, sometimes Mark. Well, people don't understand. You know that what they call they're Persians. Look at the pictures how they were dressed many years ago before these assholes took over, and that was Carter. I mean, they shouldn't have made him. The Shah of Iran, the son should have took over. The assassination that was done by them. They kill people. That's it. They're walking around with backpacks. They want to blow up people. They ain't too many Christians to go around. And the ones that they all of a sudden that they go shoot up a church and everything else, they're majority of them are white, but they're transgender. They're psychologically fucked up. Now, I used to just go speak at places too. And I never would write down what I'd say, you know. But I'm telling you, there's so much stuff out there. Yeah, they complain about. Yeah, I did this sheet yesterday. I got to put this. We got to put this on the webpage. All the money we give to Israel, which everybody says, oh, they ate back and all that shit. All that money that's given to Israel is coming back to us because that's the deal. We'll give you money, but you got to buy the military stuff from us. Oh, but you're pushing war. Boeing is getting so much money; it's unbelievable. 2.5 billion, 3 billion so far. That's 5.4 billion. And then Boeing Corporation got 18.82 billion. So all the money that's going to Israel is coming back. I know it's weapons, but it's coming back here to this country. They're not pocketing the money. They might be pocketing a couple of bucks, but you know, everybody pockets a couple of bucks. But hey, thanks everybody for joining. Don't forget the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I was gonna come find you and kill you. So don't forget the thumbs up. And let me see. I don't know if I could play this song. We have to play this thing up. See, I'll do a song to go out on. I don't know. I hope maybe you could hear it or not. Just let me know. The mouth, it ain't about to get me down. I don't ask what they allow, telling me I don't fit in now. Can you hear that song? To the road I take, I walk my path through their mistakes. Call me lost, but I've been found. There ain't a soul that can hold me down. Well, goodbye, everybody. See you tomorrow on Wormhole to Thursday. They'll do the worm tomorrow. All right, God bless everybody. Don't forget to pray for this country, pray for our president. God hears everybody. God Father out. That's right.